Many restaurants are charging a credit card processing fee. Where does it go? Because I promise you, it doesn't go to the server. We've been in the business for many, many years, and I don't know if it's a recent development. I don't know.
Definitely in the last 5 years.
In this show, we're going to talk about the credit card processing fees. Is it legal? What states do it? Why they do it? Let's get right into it.
Yeah.
What is the fee, and why all of a sudden are we seeing it now? I remember right around COVID time, I took my daughter to Chicago. There was a fee. It was called the benefit surcharge. I don't want to say I was livid, but I was super disappointed because it didn't feel good.
No.
Put it that way. That was my first time that I had to pay a fee that wasn't
service
and wasn't tax. You automatically feel like you're inheriting a company's
problem. Yeah.
You know, and so. What's your first introduction to the fee? Have you paid it as a consumer, or did you have to dole it out as a server?
No, my first one, I was a consumer, and I noticed it. And I pay cash a lot of places, you know.
Really?
Not everywhere, but, you know, at least definitely with the tip. You know what I mean? I'm paying with my card, and I noticed that it was more than what the check had said.
Okay.
So then I look at the check. And it's actually at our spot, at the Bird. And I noticed a credit card surcharge fee, and I was like, oh, okay. And that was my first introduction to it.
Okay. Now, let's give a little bit of context. Restaurants, well, any business for that matter, when they're taking credit card payments, they get charged a gateway fee, a processing fee, whatever the case may be. And that's anywhere from 2-point-something%, call it 3%, to maybe 4.5%.
Yeah, depending on the card.
Like Visa, MasterCard are very similar, and American Express tends to be a little bit more.
Higher, yeah.
The businesses just ate that. They say that they always ate it, but it's just baked into the numbers.
It's baked into the cost.
Right.
Yeah.
One would say when you go to Walmart, okay, and you pay for an item, and the item costs $34.95. You're not getting a $34.95 plus a credit card processing fee.
No.
Or maybe you're paying cash and then it's less and things like that. Because it's just baked in.
Into the price, 100%.
Okay. Now, what if restaurants continued to do that? Instead of like, let's say a $17 burger, maybe the burger is now going to be $18.50.
Yeah.
Let's just say.
Or $19 or $18.99, whatever you want to call it. Sure.
Right. How do you feel about a higher price?
Plus.
No, okay, a higher price or...
The credit card fee?
Yes, afterwards.
I don't want to see anything. Because prices go up naturally. That's inflation. You know what I mean? You're going to see prices go up.
Right.
And we're in the middle of it right now. You know, we talk about it all the time where, you know, food costs and X, Y, Z. And I think what they're trying to mitigate is for the price to go up to where it's 100%. Uncomfortable. And that's why they're trying to show you things. But I don't think that's the correct approach.
Okay.
Especially on, like, when I originally said it, where I first went to, that was just a bar. You know, it's not a high-end restaurant. You know, it's not somewhere. So I get it for a smaller, and it's a mom and pop. You know what I mean? It's a smaller establishment where, you know, you're not a corporation or anything like that. So,
but it feels like the same thing. Like, and I think about this all the time, and I feel that it all boils down to: do we
do it or do we not? Right?
Right. Do we absorb it by raising prices a little bit? For instance, let's say your food cost goes up. Do you keep your menu prices the same and then go, hey, here's a food cost rise surcharge? Kind of like when the airlines were doing the gas price surcharge. It feels different.
It is different.
And so where is the breaking point? Because how are you deciding what the pushback is on the price versus how people feel when they accept the price?
100%.
And then have to pay a fee for the convenience of a credit card.
I understand completely. And I think it goes back to that fuel surcharge and stuff like that. Remember when that started happening in cabs before Uber, and then they started hitting you with like this, your cab would say fuel surcharge.
Oh, wow.
Boom, 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 boom. And it was like the slow the slow boil, like with the frog in the boiling pot.
Yes.
That's what they've been doing to us.
Okay.
As consumers, is slowly integrating extra taxes or this, that, and the third. And now we read it, and now there's a whole different generation that is younger than us that's been growing up with it. So they're almost numb to it, where we are we're that generation that's the last generation that didn't have it. So we're questioning everything, as we should.
Yeah, right. I wonder now, the thing is, most people don't carry cash.
Yeah, they
and I
don't.
sure as hell am not going to use a debit card, because you're just exposed.
Yeah.
You're exposing your bank account to skimming, fraud, and things like
All
that.
those things, yeah.
Right? This, to me, is going to hurt credit cards, because credit card benefits are now a net neutral as far as restaurants are concerned, or services.
Yeah.
Because if you're paying a fee to get cash back, or you're paying a fee to get miles, you might as well just not do it.
Exactly.
Not use the
You don't
card.
do the card.
So how is this going to impact credit cards?
Yeah.
Not our concern, but you say, do you still use cash when you go to a restaurant? Because now you're getting paid through your bank now,
Yeah.
right? So how does that affect you as a consumer that goes to...
Personally, I mean, now I'm so used to using a card, but mine is a debit card, so I still don't notice it as much. You know what I mean?
Okay, because let's talk about the law.
Yeah.
Or the laws, because every state is different. And I believe states like Connecticut, Massachusetts, Puerto Rico, you cannot charge a credit card processing fee. All the other states do, including Florida. We're in Florida, okay? They weren't doing it in Florida because they had, I believe, a statute that said that it was illegal, but then it went through courts and said that statute was unconstitutional or illegal, or whatever the case may be. So then most states do not have a ban on credit card surcharges, but they come with rules, right? At least in Florida, obviously we're not attorneys or anything like that, but from what I understand, they have to be told in advance.
It has to be on the check.
It has to be on the check, but in the font size needs to be the same font size as everything else on the check or on the menu.
So it can't be in small print.
Can't be
100%. Yeah.
Yeah. And so it has to be posted in your restaurant and things like that. Now there's violations if you're not told about it, or if it's hidden inside of another verbiage, like another fee. It can't be wrapped inside another word other than credit card surcharge or convenience fee or tech fee or something like that. It has to be line-eyed, separated out, and things like that. So now, and it cannot exceed what your actual cost of the credit card processing is. I wonder, knowing that, and I'm assuming that restaurants know that customers feel terribly about it, because I read it on Reddit and I see how people react when I give them a card, or the check or things like that, and they say shame on you, or this is a... I wonder if there's a accounting or a tax benefit for doing it this way instead of,
instead of increasing your prices? Yeah. That's a great question, because why would you not just mildly increase your prices where your customers don't know, but do it across the board where, this way you have maybe like a soda goes up $0.25, you know what I mean?
Right.
And then your burger goes up $1, and then you have an entree, maybe like a filet or something like that, it goes up like $2, $3, which is fine because it's such a high end, when your products are moving like the way we've always done it.
Right.
Since the beginning of time since we've been working in a restaurant.
Right.
It's always been that way. There's always been an annual increase. That's why you do a menu rollout. You change your menu, you change your prices, you fix things across the board. Now, you might bring certain things down, but you might change that product that made it cheaper so you were able to give the guest, it looks like something went down, but you actually changed the product itself.
Right.
Does that make sense? What I mean, where you're using a different fish, or you're doing this, or you're doing that. You know what I mean?
It's interesting because as servers, we're not necessarily exposed to the business side of it.
No. Nor should we be directly. We understand it because we've been in the business long enough. But as a server, that's what management is supposed to hide these things for us so we can. I'm being honest.
No, you're being honest.
Because so we can mitigate and just give guests good service without having to worry about it. You know, it's their job to deal with the numbers. It's their business. You know, our business is making guests happy.
Okay.
Am I right or am I wrong?
You are correct. I believe that this has some kind of nuance to it because you mentioned earlier the Parrots are mom and pop and the check average may be a little bit smaller. So when you see $1 or $2 on a check,
you're not losing your mind.
You're not losing your mind. But when you're a more high-end restaurant
Hell yeah.
and you see $8, $10, $12, $20 on a service fee, when you already spent a lot of money, it feels different. It feels like nickel and diming. So let's try to solve this problem pragmatically because I wonder, and I'd love to dive into the nuance of the math because this is a credit card fee. Mm-hmm. You can't charge it if they're doing cash or debit.
Yeah.
Correct? Mm-hmm. Now, if you were to increase prices slightly, wouldn't you benefit whether people pay cash or across the board? You would benefit.
Yes, it's across the board benefit compared to the other way around.
100%. Yeah. And then you don't lose people to bad reviews or bad feelings 100%. And that stigma because they feel like the hospitality side of it isn't being met.
Yes.
Right? You have this thing looming when you want to pay with your credit card out of convenience. You really don't want to carry on
100%.
cash.
Like, you want to get that cash back card, or your point card, and they give you all these incentives where it's awesome, and you don't want. And now, like you're saying, now you're kind of forced at the end when you are already planning to use that card and get those points. Now you're like, should I? Is it worth it?
Or even if you're not doing the points. It's a convenience thing. When you use your credit card versus a debit card, a credit card offers you more protection from a fraudulent purchase than if you used your debit card. So then the exposure thing, for me, that's why I like to use a credit card.
Yeah.
And so for whatever reason,
that's
the convenience.
Priceless.
And it's convenient.
Yeah.
Okay? So now I'm walking around with cash. I don't know, am I going to pay the whole bill? Do I have like the leeway in cash to say, hey, I'll pay this right now and then you can pay me back? The credit card offers you just such flexibility in that way where you could worry about it later. You can pay me later, but in cash, you better give me that cash right now.
All of it. You got to come up with all of it.
Right.
Yeah.
And so I wonder why certain restaurants would be willing to do that knowing that it feels a little different and not put that small upcharge throughout the menu.
Yes.
And you're raising prices anyway. When your plates go up, when your food cost goes up, when your labor cost goes up.
Yeah.
You do that, but then the credit card fee, it feels
it's
like
nickel and diming, like you're saying in the beginning. You see all these extra boom, boom, boom. You're looking at the line items like, are you serious right now? Yeah, it's already enough. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah.
And for me and some people, I know that there's places I really won't go because of how I feel about it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you don't want to be one of those places where you get deterred, especially when you have a good product or you have, it's a solid place.
Yeah.
And then you have to deal with, the extra in your mind.
So let's recognize that, yes, restaurant margins are thin. Okay. But I wonder, please let me know, does your restaurant charge a credit card fee? And have you been charged a credit card processing fee?
And how does that leave a good taste or a bad taste in your mouth, or do you not care, or you're indifferent?
Let us know in the comments, or if you're listening on by audio, you can email me. I'm themodernwaiter@gmail.com. Follow me on Instagram and TikTok at The Modern Waiter Podcast. We do the show for you each and every week. I'm Marlon Joseph, The Modern Waiter.
I'm Danny DeVille. Subscribe, people.
We will see you next week.
Later.
Okay, I'm reloading.